Good morning to all of you. I am Dr. Neetu Gahlot. I am working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. I am taking subject chemistry and I am from Applied Science Department. Today we are going to start our new unit or new topic, that is the spectroscopy. And it is my 23rd lecture. So in this topic, firstly, we are discussing about the basic concept of spectroscopy. Okay, so firstly, we are going with the definition of spectroscopy and the history of spectroscopy and what is the requirement of the spectroscopy in our life. So, as you know that in a previous time, there are some classical methods are applied for the detection of uh, compound or element. So where the most of the time it is very time taken process, and the surety of the result is not 100%. The purity of result is not 100%, and the very large amount of the compound is used in the um, determination of the element, so that this theory is a classical theory. But at that time there is a revolution, the time that where the whenever the spectroscopy comes in at that time, so that the spectroscopy is a very important. Or in the topic spectroscopy, here are used a very small amount of the compound, and then it has very less time taken, very less time in the practical process. And there are the purity of the compound is 100%, and the exact value we can find with the help of the spectroscopy. So this is the importance of, or we can say these are the uh, requirement of the spectroscopy. So now come to the topic, that is the introduction. Firstly, it is the branch of science that deals with the study of interaction of matter with light. ओके, तो इसमें हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि थोड़ा सा अमाउंट लेते हैं और हम उसको उस अमाउंट को एक इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन से पास कराते हैं. सो एंड देन आफ्टर द transmittance, then we find out the compound, and then we can detect the element of which are present in this compound. So, and the another type of the definition that we can say, that the spectroscopy is the branch of science which deals the transition occurring in a molecule when it interact with the electromagnetic radiation. Okay, or it is the branch of science that deals with the study of interaction of electromagnetic radiation with the matter. तो वन एक वर्ड है जो बार बार हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, दैट इज द इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन. तो बिफोर discuss the electromagnetic radiation, one more definition or the information of the spectroscopy, that the spectroscopy is the branch of science which deals with the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with the matter, and the study of this interaction provides an ultimate scope to know that actually the atom and the molecules are. So most of our present day knowledge about the structure of atom and molecule has been derived on the basis of spectroscopic studies. So now, the besides of elucidation of the structure of atoms and the molecules, spectroscopy also serves as a versatile tool in the chemical analysis of a wide range of the sample. So now we come to the next definition, that is the electromagnetic radiation. So the electromagnetic radiation, it consists of discrete package of energy, okay, which is called as, we know that is called photon. And the photon consists of an oscillating electric field that is represented by E, and the oscillating magnetic field, that is M. And we know that these are those are the perpendicular to each other. Okay, so here uh, we want to know that the wave and the amplitude. So this is the here the first is the frequency, that is denoted by the mu, and it is defined as the number of times electrical field radiation oscillate in 1 second, and the unit of frequency is the hertz. Then come to the wavelength, that is the lambda. Here we can say that this is the wavelength and this is the amplitude. So it is the wavelength is denoted by the lambda. It is the distance between two nearest part of the wave in the same wave phase. So the here relation between the wavelength and the frequency, and the photon is subjected to energy is E is equal to h nu, and it is equal to the hc by lambda. Now the some principles of spectroscopy. So here uh, I want to say you that in this lecture we are discussing the basic concept of the spectroscopy only, not the ultraviolet or the infrared or the NMR or MRI spectrophotometry photometry. These are discussing in the our next lecture one by one. So firstly, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about only the basic concept of the spectroscopy. So now come the principle of the spectroscopy. So here, principle that is based on the measurement of a spectrum, and this what is the spectrum, or the graph or the plot of intensity of absorbed emitted radiation by sample versus frequency or wavelength. Okay, then the spectrophotometer or that is the instrument. So the spectrophotometer is the instrument designed to measure the spectrum of sample. Now come to the next, that is the types of spectra. So there are two types of the spectra. So first is the absorption spectra and other is the emission spectra. Okay, or uh, we can say that these are the classification of the method. So these are called the absorption spectroscopy and the emission spectroscopy. And one more method is that is the scattering spectroscopy. So here uh, we can say the types of these are the types of the spectra or the classification of method. So the type of spectroscopy, it depends on the physical quantity measured. Normally, the quantity that is measured in the intensity either of energy absorbed or produced. So most spectroscopic methods are differentiated as either atomic or the molecular based on whether or not they apply to atoms or molecules. So along with that distinction, they can be classified on the nature of their interaction. And as I said that there are the absorption spectroscopy, emission spectroscopy, and one other spectroscopy that is called the scattering spectroscopy. So firstly, we are going with the absorption spectroscopy. It is used actually the it is used use the range of the electromagnetic spectra in which a substance absorbed. This include atomic absorption spectroscopy and various molecular technique such as the infrared spectroscopy in that region, and the UV spectroscopy in that region, and the NMR spectroscopy in the radio region. So now that second type of spectroscopy is called the emission spectroscopy. So here the range is also given that the UV range is the 185 to 400 nanometer, visible range is the 400 to 800 nanometer, and for infrared spectroscopy is the 0.762, that is a 15 micrometer. So now the emission spectroscopy. It is used the range of the electromagnetic spectra in which a substance radiates. Radiate means that is the emits, and the substance first must absorb energy. This energy can be from a variety of sources, which determine the name of the subsequent emission. Okay, like the luminance, molecular luminance technique include spectrophlorimetry. And the third, in this type of the spectroscopy, there are the mass spectroscopy. And then the third is that is the scattering spectroscopy. So I want to discuss the scattering spectroscopy also. It measures the amount of light that a substance scatter at certain wavelength, and the incident angle and the polarization angle. The scattering process is much faster than the absorption and the emission process. So one of the most useful application of the light scattering spectroscopy, that is the uh, Raman spectroscopy. Okay, so these are the types of spectroscopy, or we can say that are the classification of the spectroscopy. And now come to the next parts. These are the interaction of the electromagnetic radiation with matter. Okay, so the electromagnetic radiation, it is also very important part of this topic. So there are the first is the electronic energy level. That is the first part. So the electronic energy level, we know that at the room temperature, the molecules are in the mm, lowest energy level, and we can denote this energy level is the E naught, E0. E0 that is the ground state. And when the molecule absorb ultraviolet visible light from electromagnetic radiation, so the electron is promoted to higher energy state, or these energy state may be E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, and En, etc. So it is called the electronic transition state. Okay, I repeat again the electronic energy level, that at the room temperature, the molecule, we know that at the room temperature, all the molecules are present in the ground state, yeah, or it is called the lowest energy level. So when the molecule uh, absorb electromagnetic radiation, then the in the ultraviolet visible light from the electromagnetic radiation, so the electrons is promoted. Yeah, electron gets excited, and uh, uh, they reach to the higher energy level. They jump to the higher energy state. So these are the E1, E2, E3, and it is called the electronic transition. So here we can represent the delta E. Delta E is means that is a H nu, and where the we can say that E delta E is equal to, suppose electron goes to the ground state to the third state. So delta E is equal to E3 minus E0. Okay, so here the generally the delta E is equal to H mu and is equal to the En minus E0. And where N is represented the first, second, third, or the energy state level. So now the come to the second, uh, that is the vibrational energy level. Okay, here the vibrational energy level, the molecule absorb energy, and this level is found in the infrared spectroscopy. So the molecule absorb energy promoted from one vibrational level to another vibrational level, or it vibrate with higher amplitude, less energy required than the electronic energy level. इसमें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एनर्जी लेवल के कंपैरिजन में हमें कम एनर्जी की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, और ये जो हमारे हैं vibrational level, these are present in the between the electronic energy level. Okay, so there is a less energy required than the electronic energy level. Now come to the rotational energy level. These energy level are quantized and discrete. The spacing between energy level are even smaller than vibrational energy level. So there are the delta E rotational is the energy, the is sorry, delta E for rotational is less, energy required is lesser than the delta E vibrational and is lesser than the delta E electronic energy level. So it means तो सबसे ज़्यादा energy हमें किस में चाहिए? Electronic energy level in which the electron goes to the one side to another side. And now um, this is the, we can here can represent the levels of the, that is the rotational level and the vibration level also. We all know about the electronic energy level. That means the electron goes to jump to one level to another. So this is the electronic energy level, and it is in the ultraviolet or visible spectroscopy. And here the when we talk about the rotational energy level or the vibrational energy level, the vibrational energy level is found in the higher spectroscopy. So here we can see that these are the rotational energy levels, okay, and the vibrational level are present here in the between of the rotational energy level, okay. So here this one is the ground electronic state. These are the vibrational level is here, and now come to the excited electronic state. Now the vibration energy level is this, okay. So now that is the, it is the ground state, okay. So the energy is the 0. So now this is the representation of the vibrational and the rotational energy level. Now, uh, yes. And now here come to the these are the basic laws of the spectroscopy, or the instrument that is called the spectrophotometer, which is working as the principle of the spectroscopy. So that is the spectrophotometer, and so the spectrophotometer is the sample and the versatile technique battery. That is the spectrophotometry is the sample and the versatile technique used to record the absorption spectra of liquid. Okay, so the apparatus which is used in this technique, that is called the spectrophotometer, as I told above. So the spectrophotometer may be manual as well as the automatic. Okay, so the spectrophotometer involves the measurement of the intensity of light absorbed by or transmitted through a solution as a function of wavelength. In the forthcoming subsections, after reviewing briefly the laws of light absorption, we shall discuss the principle, instrumentation, and the working of the spectroscopy. So now this is not the requirement of the working process of the spectrophotometer, but in this lecture, we are going to take the knowledge of some basic knowledge of the principle of the spectroscopy. So there are the two laws which are important, and these are called the laws of light absorption. We can say these are the laws of light absorption. So here are the two laws. First is the Lambert's law, and another law is called the Beer's law. So there is a short discussion about the Lambert's law and the Beer's law. So here the Lambert's law and the Lambert's law. Uh, so first, when we can say that when the light is passed through the system, so it may completely or the partially be transmitted and the reflected or scattered or absorbed. Okay, so due to absorption, the intensity of the incident light goes to diminishing as it travels through the medium, and a relation between the decrease in the intensity of incident light and the distance traveled by it is given by the Lambert's law or the Beer's law. So firstly, that is the Lambert's law. So here, when a monochromatic radiation is passed through a solution, the decrease in the intensity of radiation with thickness of the solution is directly proportional to the intensity of the incident light. For in the short, we can say that according to this law, the rate of decrease of the intensity of incident radiation with respect to the thickness of the medium is proportional to the intensity. So here, if we take that I naught in the is the incident light, and the IT is the light which is the which is we find after the transmittance, and the B is the thickness of the medium. So when mathematically it could be expressed as that the minus d I naught upon dB is equal to k I naught. So after the mathematical calculation or and the expression at the end of the end of the equation, so we find that the final equation that IT is equal to I naught 10 minus K dash B. Okay, so where the IT is the intensity of transmitted radiation, and I naught is the intensity of incident radiation, and K dash is the constant, and B is the thickness of the medium. So this is the Limbert's law. Now come to the Beer's law. In the Beer law, when the monochromatic radiation is passed through a transparent medium, the rate of decreases in the intensity of radiation with the concentration of medium is directly proportional to the intensity of incident light. So here, in short, we can again explain that the law of this law is an extension of that is the Limbert's law. Okay, or so according to this law, the rate of decrease of the intensity of light with respect to the thickness of the medium on passing through a solution of solution is proportional to the product of its intensity and the concentration of the solution. So Beer's law here the I repeat again, the when the monochromatic radiation is passed through a transparent medium, the rate of decrease in the intensity of radiation with the concentration of medium is directly proportional to the intensity of incident light. So the after the mathematical calculation, so we can express that minus d I naught upon dc. Dc is the concentration is equal to the k I naught. So at the last we find the equation that IT is equal to I naught into 10 to the power minus k double dash c, where c is represented the concentration of the medium. So now in this lecture we have discussed about the all the basic concept of the spectroscopy. Okay, so now, in this lecture, we have studied that firstly the introduction of the spectroscopy, then the electromagnetic radiation, and we have already discussed the different type of the definitions of the spectroscopy, and then the wavelength, frequency. These are the basic concept of this topic, and the principle of the spectroscopy. Here, the spectrum. What is the spectrum? Then what is the spectrophotometer? Then the types of the spectra, and there the absorption, emission, and the scattering spectra, and the discussion of the absorption and the emission and the scattering spectra also. Then the interaction of the electromagnetic radiation with the matter, the electronic radiation level, then the vibrational energy level, then the rotational energy level. Okay, and here is the diagrammatically we can represent the vibrational and the rotational level, and then the laws which by on which the spectroscopy is based. So these are the Limbert's law and the Beer's law. So I uh, now I want to complete my lecture, and in our next lecture there is we are going to start the types of spectroscopy, and here the first is the ultraviolet spectroscopy, then the and the infrared spectroscopy also, then the NMR spectroscopy is called the nuclear magnetic resonance, and then flame photometry is also, and one type of the spectroscopy that is called MRI. Okay, so these are the spectroscopies which are discussing in our next lecture. So now I complete my lecture, and for query can discuss with me. Okay, thank you.